men supposed to stand to the right of women in church?
If this were the military, and again, just being a veteran myself, there is a distinction, but that distinction is not between men and women, that distinction is between rank. So it would be that the higher officer will always then stand to the right. So in church etiquette among hierarchs and among clergy, we do have that degree of separation of standing. But again, the key thing to remember is that from Genesis, we were all created in the image and likeness of God. Our position in church makes no difference whatsoever. As long as we are in church, which side the man is standing on or which side the woman is standing on makes absolutely no difference. As I mentioned, it's customary in a military environment, but that's only among rank, it's not among gender. So this is, again, just another thing that we tended to have picked up from Greece being that patriarchal society.
Is it considered improper to show affection between each other in church, like a husband and a wife?
It obviously depends upon the degree of affection that we're talking about. So I would say that probably hardcore making out in church is probably not the thing to do, all right? Putting your arm around somebody, I think, again, would be inappropriate, because the idea is that you are then taking the focus of why you are there. So the focus of why we are there as human beings is so that we can worship the one God. And then when we then make then our affection the center point, it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but again, there's a time and a place for everything. Now, if you're holding hands in church, and let's say you're holding hands not in a visible way, but you're sitting next to one another and you're holding hands, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, because again, you're not making it public. But with the other forms of affection, then you not only take the focus off of God, but then you also then do damage to your brothers and sisters, because then they become focused on that. Then they see that, and then their attention turns from a prayerful meditation to now watching you. So you become the center of attention, and you're taking it away from the purpose that you're being there. So it's not just about what you're doing, but the effect that you're having on then the other parishioners also.
How about showing affection towards your children in church?
Again, within the confines of what is proper and appropriate. But, the service can be, and it should be, very moving for you, because here we are in a community of believers. We're with people that we love. We're worshiping the one true God. So some people can be then overcome by emotion, and they want to show that emotion to their children. So, reaching over and, giving them a hug or something like that, I think is absolutely appropriate. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, these should be moments, maybe not extended periods of time, but just something that letting them know that, that you are truly loved. So I think the key is always some degree of restraint. Yes, absolutely, give your child a hug if that's something that moves you. Hold your husband's hand. But again, those things that are done discreetly and momentarily, I think, are absolutely appropriate in the church. It's when it becomes more about you than it becomes about the worship that the church then tends to have an issue with it.